Afternoon. Wanted to start off our bye week, which is a very important week for us, with having a chance to watch the film and meet with our guys and having a workout this morning. So just a little bit different schedule yesterday for our staff, getting a chance to we watched it all together this morning, but did some things on their own yesterday. Some coaches go watch their sons and daughters play a little soccer and some activities, which is good. Hard to get time to do that during the season, so we want to make sure our guys can be good dads as much as we possibly can during this crazy time of the year for us. So back to work this morning, and just really proud of our team. Really proud of the way our coaches kept our guys focused and the way that we played. Be able to, for 4 quarters of just good, solid football. Thought the effort was at a high level. Outside of the 2 early false starts, we got the one targeting. It was unfortunate. Really, it's a tough call. Wasn't malicious, but it's part of the rules now. Got to keep our head up, and then had that face mask. But pretty clean game in a lot of ways from a penalty perspective, which was a big priority for us. And executing on offense, neither defense was really stout in the box. And so we just thought our guys did some really good things on both sides. And defensively, just trying to really get after the quarterback and pressure them and stop the run game. We got 3 takeaways, which is always huge priority for us. So encouraged by, I just think that our team continues to improve. Every time we take the field, that's our goal, and that's what I think we saw us do in a critical home game for us. And to get to 7 wins at this time of year is a big deal, and really proud of our players and coaches, and we don't want to underestimate the value in what that means for our program at this stage. So because of that, we had some players in the game that we wanted to recognize. Stevie Scott was the offensive player of the game, 3 touchdowns, 116 yards, and was also the Big Ten offensive player of the week, and deservedly so. Just thought he ran hard, continues to catch the ball out of the backfield, and had a few runs where he's going to continue to work on the reads and all the cuts off of that. But O-line did a lot of positive things against a very good defensive line, and receivers caught the ball well. Had 0 drops. Had 1 3-and-out on offense. I thought that's huge. That's 2 weeks in a row now. We had 0 3-and-outs. So a week ago, we had 1 this week. Staying on the field, flipping the field, pinned them inside the 10. Did that 3 times on special teams. But that's the offense moving the ball. It's big. Defensively, the whole defensive line was our players of the game. Just felt like that they played so hard. Guys like Mike Ziemba, Jerome Johnson, Alan Stallings, DeMarcus Elliott, Jonathan King, CO. Still struggle with his last name, so I just stick with CO. But just the whole group there played so hard, disruptive, good against the run. I thought we did a good job of being, a lot of our run fits and the zone reads on the perimeter, just changing things up. Guys played that well, so really proud of those guys. Hayden Whitehead was our special teams player of the game, punted the ball extremely well, pinned him down. Good job flipping the field, so really proud of him. He's been very consistent all year long. On our scout group, defensive scout, Gabe Cohen, does a great job for us, giving the defensive look, and then offensive scout team player of the week, Deshaun Brown, one of our true freshmen, very talented football player that I think's got a bright future here. Very excited about him, extremely skilled. Just behind a lot of good players in that receiver room. Hadn't played receiver before. He was a high school quarterback, so I think he's going to have a great career here. He continues to do the little things we ask him to do. Special team scouts of the week, Cam Wilson and Justin Berry. 2 receivers that give us great work on receivers, scout teams, running around, giving us a lot of effort that we have to be where we need to be. So just felt like it was an overall very solid performance, and never really let them get going. And that was the goal, was to start fast on both sides of the ball and special teams, and then finish the game off the right way. Scoring 34 points on that team. That defense is not easy to do. And just thought that was, once again, I thought Kane Lama did a great job with our defense and getting our guys ready, and Kalen DeBoer continues to do a great job offensively, and Coach Inge with our special teams. This group just keeps getting better and better. So proud of our guys. Big week this week to get better. 3 goals, similar to the last bye week, but a little modified. Get healthy, get rested, and get better. And so each coach is going to be given the directive of finding areas that he's going to submit to me that we have to get better at, improve on technically, with each of their guys, get some of our guys rested that have played a lot of snaps, and then getting those guys healthy that have a little dinged up right now. So don't know much more about Mike Penix yet. Should know more this afternoon, so we'll give that update next week when we meet on Monday. But we'll continue to move forward. Got some other guys that got to get healthy, get in that training room, and take full advantage of the great staff that we have. Questions?
Tom and Cam.
Coach, at the first bye week break, you talked a lot about getting better over the course of time, and having won the 4 games through there and seeing that improvement all along. One thing specifically you just mentioned earlier about the no 3 and outs and all that stuff. Can you talk a little bit about how much it's meant from a field position standpoint and just how that's been flipping each game?
Well, you know, I talk about winning football a lot with our coaches and with our team, and to me, that's really where it begins. And you don't always have to drive down and score, but it's being able to move. You get take a kickoff, you get 2 first down, get to midfield, and we have a really good punter, so that allows us to get them pinned down inside the 10 ideally. 5 is the best, but even just anything inside the 20 is good. But we've been getting a lot of them inside the 10, and that really puts so much pressure on the other team's offense. It's hard to drive the ball consistently when you do that, and our offense has just been staying on the field, and that's, I think, the improvement in our offensive line play allows us to run the football, more manageable 3rd downs, executing at a high level on offense, not dropping the football, receiver, tight end, and running back when those guys catch it, and just our ability of our quarterbacks to execute the game plan and be able to, even you think about it, we got that, the 2 offsides penalties, 1st and 20, and we just didn't blink, just kind of just marched our way right down the field, So I think that the ability to do that is what feels so different. Like you said, so from the last bye week, we had 4 games we knew we had to be, an opportunity to win. And to get all 4 of those and to do it to finish in a dominating way is a really good feeling, because that doesn't always happen. And sometimes you get mental let-ups and you get this and this group hasn't done that, And I felt confident going into the game that our guys are going to play well. Now they got to go prove it on the field, but I felt good about our preparation. And so, but then we get those two false starts, and I was like, not the way you want to start, So, but anyway, we were able to flush that and not linger. So I just think that the more focus is probably going to be on the get healthy, get rested part. This one being the second bye week and having 3 games left of the regular season in our bowl game. And but really the focus is going to be on a lot of the younger guys, their technique, and them getting a lot of reps and getting better. And then from a drill perspective, I'm going to have each coach identify individual techniques that we want to make sure we kind of identified even last night and from last week's game, the week before, to be able to, what we have to do better to be able to, as we play, basically 2 top 5, top 10 teams here next, and then the huge game in Purdue, which is game number 3.
Cam and Taylor. Tom, I'm sure you mentioned or made note of the fact that you guys just narrowly missed out on being in the AP top 25 for this week. How much does that change anything, if it does change anything, from your perspective and your players' perspective in terms of keeping their focus and making sure that maybe the national attention doesn't change too much to the day-to-day things that you guys are doing?
Well, we did talk about it because I told our team during fall camp that we were a top 25 football team. I believed it. I did. And I said, we got to go prove it. But I said, that's what I believe this football team's going to do. And so from that perspective, we can't control any of that, in terms of who decides to vote or not vote. So, but at the same time, there is an expectation. I said that similar about, a couple of years ago, I thought I wanted to have a top 25 defense, when I was defensive coordinator in year 2 after being here. And that's what we were able to do. And so I just think that you set those things out there, you don't back away from those things, and it's part of the program that you have and what you're building, and it shows respect for that. But at the same time, we can't control those things. I just know that we're playing a really good football team in Penn State here real soon. So, whatever we've done in the last 9 games, we've obviously done a lot of positive things, got a lot of things to keep getting better at. But, that's kind of where you want to be as a program. You want to be, where you're recognized as such. And then when you get recognized at that level, then you got to go sustain it and show that you deserve to be there. And that's something that's a weekly thing that you have to have.
Taylor and Stefan.
Coach, you talked about him a little bit Saturday with Stevie Scott. How important, I know he's tried to make a lot of changes in this game since even his freshman year to this year. How important has he been in the facilitation of Kalen Ward's system this season?
Well, as is always the case, all of our guys are important. The ability to run the football is critical. I talk about it all the time. Even when talking about this game, it was going to be one of our keys was how can we control line of scrimmage on either side of the football and running the ball on offense, stopping them on defense are really the cornerstones of what we want to be able to do. And even though we throw the ball quite a bit, but You know, and Stevie's just his effectiveness, you know, and being able to, you know, to make them have to account for him. I mean, it changes everything. I mean, you notice even, and that's one thing, you know, we move our backs, you know, when they align pre-snap, and then we adjust different things from there. Well, that's what, when they got those 2 false starts, we actually shifted him, and they shifted their whole, you know, alignment, which caused our guys to jump, but they did that quite frequently. So it's all about trying to take him away, you know, and so now, you know, 9 games into the season and going on number 10, and they're still trying to take him away, you know, and now he's being able to be very effective against good defenses. So, you know, he's a huge part of our team, but just like I said, even on Saturday night, just appreciate and respect the way he's handled his success, you know, and how hard he's worked, and the humility that he has, and he's just a guy that appreciates his offensive line and knows how critical they are, but he's a talented guy. I mean, he's big, strong. I mean, he ran over one of their guys early in the game. I mean, that just sends a message now. You know, it's been happening. It's about every game. There's at least one of those big ones where he, you know, just blows right through somebody, and that's no fun to take on for 60 minutes. You know, so it's just you know, and then eventually we get, as Samson continues to develop and grow, he's a very big physical guy too. That's going to keep getting bigger. So to be able to have 2 guys like that in this league is very critical.
Stefan and Ravi.
Coach, you mentioned after the Nebraska game, kind of getting that weight off your shoulders of getting that 6th win. I mean, have you noticed anything in practice or in that Northwestern game in terms of the attitude your team is bringing when that number is not lingering at this point of the season?
Well, I mean, there's definitely a different energy, you know. It's a confidence that it brings. You know, like I said, we didn't dwell on it a lot. We didn't talk about it a lot. As far as the 6th, getting that 6th win, you know, we expected it. That was one of our expectations because we want to win our bowl game, not just get to a bowl game. And so, but I think that there's no question, even in the weight room today, I mean, there's just an energy every time, you know, like I said, we keep getting better every time we play. I think the energy keeps growing each week. I just think that's just a byproduct of having success, you know, and you work so hard and you sacrifice so much and you give so much to this that, and it's awesome to see our guys rewarded for all their hard work. And now it's the challenge of, okay, how do you stay hungry, focused? That's why last week's one word was starving to be great, and starving for us to keep improving and playing at a high level every time we take the field. And that's what it's going to take to go compete at a high level, you know, against Penn State on the road. So, but yeah, that to me is what you're seeing in practice, and it's a whole lot of fun to be around these guys.
Ravi, then Zach.
Going back to Mike Penix, would you say it's likely, probable, doubtful he plays next game? And also, do you kind of like the idea of the next opponent not knowing which quarterback may play a lot and they got to prep for 2?
Well, I will say this. First of all, I truly do not know. So if I did, I would give you more of a basis. I will know hopefully here soon. But I will say that on the other side of it, I hate not knowing who the quarterback's going to be. I mean, you can say all you want. It's not, you like to know what you got, know who you're dealing with, and get a plan together. So yeah, there are some benefits to that, you know, on our end that they don't know. So, but it's not by grand design that we're scheming that every week. So, but that's just the way it's played out. But yeah, it definitely creates a little bit of, you know, I like to know things and be able to plan accordingly.
Zach and Fish.
Just for that time under his official visit, kind of sitting down with you, and I think you said he brought up those numbers that I know you mentioned a couple of years ago when you first took the job. How unusual is it in your mind for a kid that young to be willing to embrace something kind of stuff? I mean, it's not necessarily sight unseen, but it's not like he's from Indiana. It's not like he has a lot of background with the program before he becomes an IU recruit. To take on that kind of sort of challenge, I guess, in his own mind, how unusual is that in your mind?
Well, I'd say it's rare. You know, I mean, I if you polled our guys, you know, I guarantee you a lot of the younger guys would not have necessarily known that those 3 numbers, you know, and I know I never talked to him about them personally. And so to me, I'm just sitting there. We're in my office, and he asked me for a piece of paper. And I go out to tear out a piece of paper out of a notebook and hand it to him, and he starts writing it down, and then he hands it to me. And so, I mean, he had, on his own, had researched and knew those, and he knew how big a deal it was to me and the way I presented it initially. And so, but yeah, I do think it's extremely unusual. It impressed me, you know, got my attention that this kid, and I thought he was a special guy just because of, you know, getting to know him in the process and getting to know his family. But he's such a competitor, you know, and he's just such a, you know, even if you kind of go back, I mean, he's the culture in Florida right now in terms of high school is that some kids, there's an openness to ability to transfer schools. And so just the fact that he stayed in the school that he was in. His older brother was there, and he played for Clemson and now plays for the Raiders. And so after his brother graduated, he could have easily left. He wasn't from a high school that had, some maybe long-standing success that others around him have had and wanted him to come play for them. And the fact he just chose to stay there because he wanted to make history there. And they made the playoffs for the first time in 10 years, his senior year. So they didn't even do it when his older brothers with him when he was a sophomore. So just that kind of, I think you can learn a lot about young men by getting to know them and their past and their how are they, that's why getting to know high school coaches is so critical in recruiting, because those guys know the young man so well. Because we don't just all of a sudden just become a different guy when you show up on campus. Your habits and the qualities that make you who you are in high school, those things usually stay pretty similar. Yeah, you mature and you grow. And I tell his parents all the time, I'm like, if your son didn't care about school when he's in high school, there's no magic wand I'm going to be able to put over him that makes him going to just love going to class and love, getting his education. So you better find guys that care about school. And so a kid like that, this kid, he cared about coming here and making history. Well, he wanted to do the same thing in his own high school and took pride in that. So I think that's maybe would have been a good precursor to see that's the kind of kid you're dealing with. But yeah, I mean, he's not very big, but he caused that first fumble in the game and he recovers it. And the other thing he recovered, he wasn't even close to the ball when it came out. I don't even know how he got the ball, so he just has that just knack and ability to just make plays. And he believes in himself, and he doesn't say a whole lot, he's confident, very confident, but doesn't do a lot of jawing. And, but those kind of guys like that are special, and he's made plays consistently against our best competition. So yeah, he's a joy to be around. He was a joy to recruit. I love talking to him. He talked to my wife all the time. He got to know my whole family. I mean, he was just one of those rare guys that just, he FaceTimed me. I'm not kidding. I bet every single day he'd FaceTime. It wasn't very long, 5-10 minutes, but every single day that kid would call me. And we talked, and we got really, really close. And so, I wasn't shocked we got him, because I'd have been shocked if he didn't come here as much as we talked. So, but at the same time, it's about relationships. And he, for some reason, we connected, and he wanted to be here, and he wanted to come do something special. That's why he grabbed me and said, Coach, we're doing what we said we're going to do. We just got to keep on going. So, I love that kid.
Fish and Jim.
The offensive line has obviously made strides as the season's gone on, despite the injury issues and Coy being out for the season. How important has Coy been to this offensive line, and has he helped these guys understand their roles? Well,
He's been huge. I mean, when you go through, and I know Coy's sitting right here, but if I had to say one guy that we could not lose this year, it was that guy, for a whole myriad of reasons, and I mean, when he went down and I saw his foot going one direction and supposed to be going the other, I knew this is not good, and my heart just sank, and I was just sick. And I knew pretty much right then that it wasn't going to be a good outcome. But, he's accepted the role. I tell you, to his credit, man, as devastating as it is, he just hasn't, he doesn't mope around and feel sorry for himself. And that's helped his teammates. I mean, it's kind of rallied them. And he's dove right in, and he helps these guys get ready. So, he plays a huge one. I challenge you. Hey, it's a different role than we thought you'd have, but you're a captain of this team. You're a leader of this team. And this is your football team. And so he's embraced that new role as a guy that's got, even though he's not out there making plays, he's helping his brothers make plays and helping them get ready every week. And so that's awesome to see. Not surprising, he's just that kind of guy. I'm sure he's, it's hard to not be out there especially with what's going on, but at the same time, he's a big part of it. I mean, we couldn't do it without him, and it's been neat to see those guys rally and step up. And Matt kind of struggled Saturday night. He did. It was probably one of his toughest games, and so, and I knew they're good defensive line he was playing against, and they did a lot of things schematically that were tough, and so, we're going to continue to need Coy to help him keep developing and just accepting that new role of being, a guy that's going to help this team get better, whatever it takes, and that's what he's doing.
Jim and Kevin. Follow up on the offensive line going into Penn State game, a huge environment. How much did the win and the play at Nebraska help to this type of environment coming
Well,
up?
that's a good point, because that's really, you can't simulate that noise. Like I said, we do it in practice as best we can, but it's not the same. So now we've got a game under our belt where our guys have played in it and been able to, know what that's going to feel like, and it does. It affects our offense. That's the one group that gets the biggest impact. Because of the noise and the crowd size and the noise level and all the different things that it causes you to do with snap count and different things, and it just kind of makes everything a little slower in how you react and all that. So I think that there's nothing like experience. Experience always matters, makes you better, you learn from it, and I think it would be a valuable asset for us as we move forward.
Kevin, then Tom.
Coach, I know you worked with Willie Taggart for a year. Did you reach out to him at all over the weekend with regards to the situation?
You just want to make sure guys know that you care about them and praying for them and stuff. Another close friend of mine, another situation, that the same type of thing. So yeah, it's tough business we're in. So my heart always breaks for families when because you forget about the kids and wives, and they're all affected by all this stuff too. So in a big way.
Tom.
Just to follow up on Don's question, I was talking to Matt Bedford last week. He said when he got here in January, he was barely pushing 265 pounds, and he could barely do 225 on the bench. When he got here in January, could you have ever expected that you would have had to rely on him at left tackle all year like you have?
No. You don't want to. Before you just said, he's a guy that we felt like had huge upside, great potential, but it's going to take some time, from a weight gain perspective, strength, technique. That's a hard position. Coy is one of the rare guys that's been a 4-year starter in that position. He did it for himself, so he can attest to it, how hard it is. But, and I just think, and the thing about Matt that was different was he hadn't really played, the position as much either. So I know Coy wasn't, so it's probably a similar situation probably, but at the same time, Bedford was not a seasoned offensive lineman, so I think coming in January, that was huge. I don't know that he could have done it at all had he just come in over the summer. So that proved to be a very, very positive thing for him. But yeah, I wouldn't have predicted it because, number one, we knew we were set at that position with Coy and hope we didn't have to need him to do that. But I just think it's such a hard position to play but he's responded, and to his credit and Coach Hiller's credit and Coy's credit to help get him ready and the whole room. So yeah, that's a tough assignment to be given.
John, then Zach.
I know you can't get into specifics with Michael, but is it all related to either of the 2 previous injuries, and are you at all concerned about his ability to stay on the field?
It's not related, and I think that we have to, moving forward, just with any of our quarterbacks, you always have to be very, careful in how you use them and limit the number of hits that they take. You can't eliminate them; it's not possible. It's a full contact game, and but yeah, all I gotta do is look around the country, NFL level. It doesn't change. They're gonna get hit, and but yeah, you kind of gotta guard that. And I just think too for him, just moving forward. And we've talked about this, and then he just needs to get bigger, and gain a lot more good muscle mass on his frame. He's got a good frame, and we have a good plan for that here to continue for him to grow in that area and just put on good weight and get thicker and all those kind of things to be able to take the hits he's going to take, at this level and beyond. So yeah, but it's tough. You got to keep guys healthy, and we don't hit them during the week for a reason, but they get hit on game day. Can't keep that blue jersey on.
Zach.
You mentioned it earlier, I don't remember who asked you about this, but you talked in the past about Hayden. I think he's listed as a redshirt senior, but there potentially being more. Where is that? Is that something that's approved? Is that something that's pending? What's the process, I guess, especially for an international guy to try and sort of rearrange his eligibility? Because obviously
It is different. So to answer your question, we have to do an appeal process, which we have. We were not allowed to do it until his senior year started. So we started the appeal process as soon as the year started, and so we feel good about it. We have not got confirmation back yet that he has got that year back, but we expect him to. And so, but since we haven't gotten back officially, I can't tell you that he is officially gotten that year. So, but it does look positive. But yeah, we would have done it a year ago if we could, but you can't. It's a different process for international students, and we're following all the procedures for that.
is that, just to follow, is that like an extra
Yeah, one more year. So he's technically, in our mind, he's a junior, you know, and so we hope to have him for one more year.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Great, have an awesome day. Elio.